Internets, hello you lovelies. Let's talk all about Gen V Season 2, Episode 8, our Season 2 finale, a big climactic ending with a giant danger room fight, with GODOLKIN coming to power, with all of the resolutions I was hoping for, with the interpersonal relationships of Gen V. For the most part, it is still like a teen drama. They've got to set up soap opera-y stuff going forward, but I do feel the emotional resolution of a lot of these characters came to play in this finale. Gonna be talking about all of that and more. Please, if you're new to this page, hit that subscription bell. I cover movies, I cover TV, and I cover lots and lots of comic book stuff. I read about 50 to 70 comics a week, and I break down my favorite 9 every week right here on this channel in a live stream, as well as all the biggest comic, movie, and TV news, as well as all of the regular movie and TV reviews. So if any of that sounds like your cup of tea, hit that subscription bell. Also, please press like on this video. It helps the algorithm. And most of all, I want to hear what you thought of this finale. I want to know what you think this sets up for The Boys Season 5. I want to know what you think of the resolutions with some of these characters in Season 2 of Gen V. Let's have a conversation below. No more spoiler warnings. We're diving in. Full spoilers for the finale in 3, 2, 1. I like that they killed GODOLKIN. I didn't think I would. With everything going on with GODOLKIN, I thought he might be the big bad for the boys, but I do think that it gave Marie a chance to feel like her arc was concluded. I realize if Marie didn't kill GODOLKIN, I would have felt like the show kind of spun in its wheels, and there are elements of the show that I do feel like kind of spun in their wheels. I think the relationships overall really, really worked for me. All the emotion and all the acting really landed. But if you look at the end of Episode 8 and the beginning of Episode 1 of Season 2, it's kind of how I thought things would go. Obviously, the twist with GODOLKIN notwithstanding, I thought Cypher being taken out by them and then all of them assembling and joining whoever was on the opposition in the boys, like that last beat is kind of how I thought it would go. But the twists and turns on the way there really were augmented by the acting and on Marie's choices, and killing GODOLKIN I think was the best of that, because that is what separates this from the average teen superhero show, and that's a genre in itself at this point. But the emotional stuff is very authentically teen. I loved Emma and Sam not really getting their relationship on track. It did feel kind of like it came out of nowhere when it started, but I liked that it didn't end with like them back together and cute. I liked that I didn't trust Greg, that blonde jock guy, and that made me wonder what was going on with Sam. I really liked the relationship with Marie and her sister. I love that they had that beat outside the car and they got a chance to actually be sisters, and there was a moment of forgiveness for each of them and an actual choice to stay bonded. Even though she loved living with Pam, she had the opportunity to take her life back, she didn't. I really liked that beat. Man, my MVP of the season though, Hamish Linklater, Cypher / Doug. Doug, at the end of the day, MVP. That turn from Hamish Linklater playing the terrifying Cypher into the most likable blockbuster employee trapped in that body since 1996. There's a trope of killing off a character and giving them their big hero moment, and I somehow was so enamored with his story about Andre that I didn't see it coming, and it was so obvious in hindsight. That speech about Andre, beautifully mirroring Linklater's last speech as Cypher, making fun of Andre's death, jabbing at his dad, hurting Polarity by insulting his son, turning that around, and now Doug, who was stuck in the backseat of the car watching all this happen, getting some catharsis by getting to tell Polarity how much his son was a hero, getting to brag about Andre. That big hero moment, even a verbal thing can be a hero moment. And then Black Noir getting his cameo and also killing. Oh man, what a brutal end and what a great moment to be surprised by. I will say I didn't expect Sister Sage to be so easily manipulated. Like, I get they did a good job setting up that love makes her not herself. Like, she fell in love and she was, vulnerable and open, and maybe that was her, blinders, trying not to see that Cypher was going to betray her. But I wish she'd had like, a plan B for GODOLKIN. Like, what if GODOLKIN does something wrong? Obviously, Polarity seems like a plan D, and she did let him out, and I see how that all came to play. But I do feel like with how smart Sage is, there would have been some other element to that. Likewise with Homelander. I'm sure Anthony Starr, that would have been a very expensive cameo. But the phone call when a dude comes back from the dead felt not quite strong enough of a choice. Like, the guy came back from the dead. I know he's president, he's busy, but I do feel like it was odd he called Sister Sage. Like, why would he know that Sister Sage knew anything about what was going on with GODOLKIN? Or if he knew that she was doing some stuff with GODOLKIN, what was the context that he thought it was? Was it just that Cypher guy? So I would have loved a little bit of context there, but again, I understand it's a shared universe and actors and cameos and all that stuff, but that was one thing that felt like not quite resolved. What did work for me was the big climactic fight where we basically get like a Magneto fight with Polarity, which we got last episode, and here we get like the Magneto in leadership of the Brotherhood of Mutants vibe in the Danger Room, like gathering students to cull them, to kill them block by block, to just keep the strongest ones. That is a crazy move, and I was really impressed that whole sequence. I liked the action in that scene. I like seeing, like, you know, a Nightcrawler, Bamf, a Cyclops, Vision. Like, obviously there's other heroes, but this felt very X-Men this season, especially the teen drama, especially the Danger Room, all those elements. So I really like that final fight. And again, I do think the combination of Polarity and Marie teaming up and eventually killing the character is what had to be. Last week, if you watch my review from last week, I was talking all about how I wanted GODOLKIN to be the big bad and maybe oversee everything for the boys. I still think that would have been a really cool big bad, but it would have undermined Marie, and I feel like Marie is going to be a very key factor in The Boys Season 5, and if there's a Gen V Season 3, like, Marie is too important to sacrifice her arc for the sake of a bad that was probably just going to get killed by Homelander in the opening anyway. So overall, it did work for me. It did feel like it was kind of coloring in, you know, already established lines. It did feel like it filled things in as expected, but at the end of the day, the show, from the first episode to the last, honored the actor they lost. In that last beat with Hamish Linklater honoring the actor and the character, I thought that was really beautiful. This show was about people growing, and, you know, now Marie is a team player. Marie did leave with them. She didn't just abandon them. The sacrifice of not, you know, Jordan, I think, made the right choice for Jordan. Like, Jordan kept getting hurt because of Marie. You can't keep investing in that person. That was a great decision. I like that Sam and Emma didn't fully end up together. I like that we got a great cameo that felt deserved with not just Starlight, but also we get this A-Train beats. This episode had 3 key members of the 7, and it all felt like it world built in a really fun way. So I really like all of that. And at the end of the day, like, these character beats felt earned, even if it meant the show had to be a little bit more formulaic. The emotion and the actors really did work for me overall. I would like to see a Gen V Season 3 where there's a little bit more flexibility. I could tell, you know, in the first half of the season I couldn't, but it did feel like the second half of the season, Polarity became what Andre would have, and, like, you know, Marie fixing Andre, I think, would have happened with his seizures, and instead it was Polarity, like him coming in at the last minute and saving the day. That all felt like it would have been Andre's role. So it's kind of beautiful to see the father get to step in, and I like the relationship between Polarity and Emma that ended up developing accordingly. But all this being a love letter to Chance Padermo was really sweet, and all of it setting up The Boys Season 5 I think really worked. I'm very curious what you guys thought. It was a little color by numbers, but overall it was a good ending and overall a good season. I would say the first season was great. I liked it a little bit more, but I think the emotion and the sensitivity and the lessons and the growth in the character was even stronger in season 2. So overall impact of season 1, a little bit more my speed. Overall emotional connection I prefer in season 2. So really, really good time. Really good commentary on superhero stuff. Really good teen, young adult, college-y show. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Very curious what you thought of the finale and the second season overall. Leave a like in this video so I know you like the video. Go check out my reaction to every episode, but including this one, over on Real Rejects to get my thoughts during it. And subscribe if you're not already, because it'd be weird 8 minutes into a video if you haven't subscribed. Do it. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.